Hi, welcome to All Scale Slot Cars. I'm Dennis, if you're new to the channel, and I'd like to talk a little bit about shelf queens and how I always say I don't want shelf queens. I love slot cars. I've always loved slot cars, and even as a child, I didn't even know what the term shelf queen was. I never heard it. I don't know when that originated, but I never heard of it, and it was something that I didn't participate in because I knew right from the start that every car that I came across, I wanted to put on the track and race and drive and just enjoy. I if I wanted to just see something on the wall, I would just purchase a Hot Wheels or Matchbox or something and put on the wall, which I never even did that. I opened those too. But I completely understand people who do that. That's great because they're just so beautiful and you don't want to ruin them. And that's kind of the dilemma with slot cars is that you don't want to destroy them. You don't want to scuff them. You don't want to do anything. You just want to appreciate their beauty forever. But at the same token, they're slot cars, and you want to enjoy them and watch them going around on the track. So a lot of people buy one to race, and then buy another one, and they never remove it from the package. And I understand that. In my point of view, I don't buy this. I don't buy slot cars as an investment. They're not. They're an enjoyable play toy to me, and whoever I leave them to, whether it be my wife, our son, our grandkids, who ultimately gets them, or whoever, they can enjoy them as well. And if the value's a little diminished because they've been taken out of the package, then so be it. But so anytime I purchase a slot car, I pretty much open it up. But I do have a dilemma on certain occasions, and I want to show you my dilemma right here. And I just pulled out a few cars that I've collected over the years, and many of these you may notice as being specials. Pro Tinker Toys, Brian Young's website and store, comes out with limited edition exclusives at certain points. For the past few years, they've done this, and they do a beautiful job of this. And I'm not a collector of everything they've done, which everything is beautiful. No, don't get me wrong there. But there's certain things like, certain things appeal to you and you just have to have them. And that's how it was with a few of these. And this is one of them, the Pro Tinker Toys exclusive, this 69 Dodge Charger Daytona. And it's the number 62 because Brian Young was 62 when they made this for him. Well, when he purchased the rights to this, or however they set it up. And yeah, so I love this car, love Daytonas and Superbirds, so that one was a must. And when I purchased this, I think they have only got, when they do these exclusives, I think they only make like 1,008 or 1,032, somewhere around there for the most part, in most of these cases. So you're getting something very limited, but still, as much as I enjoyed this, and they were, they still may be available in the packaging. I wanted one for the track. It didn't matter to me. I open it up. I want to enjoy it. I love the car, and I'm getting the most out of it. So that was a no-brainer for me to open that up. Here's another exclusive, and there's a very fascinating story behind this red Batmobile. And just ask Brian Young at Pro Tinker Toys or his brother Tim Young, and you'll get the story there. This one probably would have been a shelf queen for me. I admit that. I just happened to find it where it was already out of the packaging. No problem for me there. But it may have been a shelf queen, and I'll tell you why. And I want to get to a few of these, and I'll give you a little story why. Some are packaged and some are not, and whether they may ever be opened. We'll see. I might open them today. Who knows? Now, here's another exclusive from Brian Young and Pro Tinker Toys. I love this truck, 56 Ford F100. And it's got the Betsy Ross flag on it, as most of his cars do, and the little Pro Tinker. And I just love this, the rust on it and everything. And this one I opened up out of the package, and I'm sorry that if I offend anybody, but I'm enjoying it. Love watching it go around on the track, and that's ultimately what it's for. Then let's get to this one over here. Now, this was Pro Tinker Toys' very first exclusive. It was he calls it the Blurple. It's a blue purplish 55 Chevy Bel Air, and very, very beautiful car. And again, this one was never in the package. There was an error in something with the delivery of this, and it was not brought in the package, I believe. So these were in bags, and so that one was never in a packaging other than the bag, which it's out of the bag now. And that was Pro Tinker Toys' first exclusive. Now, let's see. There was this car. If you remember this car, this for Hot Wheels collectors, a very, very, very popular car. The Candy Striper, this 55 Bel Air. And this one, I thought at the time was going to be a very, very limited run, but it seems like they made a little bit more of this than I originally thought. And so when I first purchased that, I saw this and I had to have it. This was something that I thought was going to be the limited run, and maybe 1,000. I think there's maybe more of these, maybe 5,000 of them. If I stand corrected, let me know. But I purchased this one, and I said, I'm not going to take this out. This is going to be my very first official shelf queen in any scale. But it didn't turn out that way, because I went to Hobby Lobby one day, and I saw like 3 or 4 of these on the shelf, just hanging on the shelf. And so I was like, oh, okay, so they're not so limited. So I kept this one in the packaging, and I purchased one of those at Hobby Lobby, and I opened that because I want to see this going around. And seeing it's not as exclusive and not as limited as I thought, maybe it is, and maybe in time, this is very popular with both slot car collectors and Hot Wheels collectors. So there's that cross that may make that very, very well much desired in the future. So I don't want to ruin that for someone in the future. And that's part of the dilemma with some of these cars, and we'll get to these last two, is that even though the value may be diminished a little bit for me, but in a lot of cases, it's not diminished by that much. Maybe, I don't know, 5% off because you took it out of the packaging. If it's a very rare car, people are going to want it. And it's just a bonus that it's still in the packaging for most people, so they can hang it on their walls or do whatever and protect it. And, yeah, so when I purchase it, I think of that. I take all that into consideration before I take it out of the packaging. And I think about, back in the 60s and 70s, I don't think anybody had the foresight to keep their cars as shelf queens, to not take them out of packaging, to save things. I don't think anybody did that with any toys or anything. Nobody really had that foresight to do that. A few people did, or a few people just chanced into it. They purchased something and put it up in their shelf and just never even thought of it, never got to opening it. And then by the time the 80s came around and the 90s, then everybody got into this collecting thing to where, save things, don't play with them, don't destroy them. And it takes away the fun of having the toys, whatever they are. And so, and nowadays, so many people are aware of it and so many people are practicing it that there's a lot to go around of the original stuff and the original packaging, to where I don't think it's going to be that much valuable having something that's in a package as opposed to not in a package. And, it's just one of those things, and you never know. So let me just show you. Let me get to it. There's this car here. This is the Pro Tinker Toys' second exclusive, the number 2 exclusive from Pro Tinker Toys. And this is the one that Brian Young originally wanted to order from Auto World, and instead they sent him the Blurple, which is awesome in itself. But they got it right on the second time, so this is the second time. And I don't know if I'm ever going to take this out of the package. For one, there were only like 1,008, I think, made of these things. And I don't want to ruin that or destroy that for anyone in the future. It's just one of those things. For myself, I don't care for the value of it. It doesn't matter to me at this point. I'm whoever inherits my collection, like I said, so they'll deal with a little bit of loss. They're getting a lot of bonus when they get my collection. Everything is a bonus to them. They're not losing money. So everything is a bonus. I'm not concerned about that. But I'm just concerned about people in the future. Will this item be very desirable in the distant future? Will people care that it's still in the package? And I don't know yet if I want to take this out. I don't know if I want to ever take this out. So is this going to be a shelf queen for me for the rest of my life? I don't know. And give me your thoughts on that. What do you think about these things, about taking these cars? I know I always said no shelf queens, don't do it. You want to take these cars to run, but there's a dilemma. And here's another dilemma. And I found this one had a great price and I had to pick it up. This was the limited edition. This was the one that I thought this one was going to be. And you could see the slight difference in coloring. When you put these up side by side, I don't know if you could tell, but you can actually definitely see the packaging on how that's very, very different. And I don't know, oh, it says right over there, 1488, one of 1488. So that's how many of these were made. And I don't know, and you can even see the back of these were different. This could be something that I'm not looking at the value. I'm just looking at the future. Will people across the lines of slot cars and Hot Wheels really care that much that it's in the package? And just the fact that the beautiful artwork on the package is enough to make me want to say, I think I need to keep this one in the packaging. So I don't know if I'm going to open it. When I started this video, I said, well, maybe I'll talk myself into it, but I'm not sure. And I'll let you guys help me out. Let me see what your thoughts are. Leave some comments on how you feel about this. Which way would you go with it? Which way do you think I should go with it? It'll make for a great video if I cut it open, but is that really what I'm looking for? I don't know. I don't know. I'm at a standstill here. So thank you for watching. Leave a comment below if you enjoyed this. Give it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're interested in this stuff. And there's a lot more to come. So thank you very much and have a great day.